In a candid and revealing conversation on the Gilly and Vallo $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, retired basketball icon J.R. Smith peels back the layers of a harrowing past experience that left him bewildered and deeply troubled.
I was disappointed in the fact that it just happened to be somebody from Jersey that was doing it.
I don't know what he talk about. I'm confused. What happened with what you talk about from Jersey?
Nah, so a long time ago, long time ago, I was messing with this girl, and it just so happened that this girl was messing. She was messing with some dudes at the time, but this in particular dude used to be her man.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of got into like some stalking.
Stalking her?
Her and kind of me, like he would like do little petty shit, like send her shit, like I was doing, or if I was trying to do something, or like where I was at, following me, that.
Damn.
Be in her hallway on some weird shit, like, what you doing, bro? Like, what?
They talking about this. They talking about this interview, man. They talking about this interview that was done. I didn't know. They kept tagging me on Twitter. Mm-hmm. J.R. Smith did an interview with Gilly and him, and talking about he was stalked by a man in Jersey. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't understand why I kept getting tagged in that until I found out on Twitter yesterday when I asked, why y'all keep tagging on me? And apparently it involved you. Do you have anything to say about these allegations against you? Or
Yes. So glad you asked. To the viewing public, sometimes when people do interviews and podcasts and say things about Joe Budden that sound disparaging, sometimes it's true.
okay.
You're right.
You did that shit.
Stalked that. I did that shit. Stalked that nigga all over New Jersey. Oh, no, I was trying to put hands and feet on that nigga. Oh, man. I was trying to find him. I told him. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't no.
This unsettling encounter revolves around a man from the state of New Jersey who would embark on a campaign of stalking and obsession, triggered by JR's involvement with a woman intimately connected to this individual. As JR shares his narrative, he conveys not only his bewilderment but also his concern over the motivations and actions of the man involved in this distressing episode. This unnerving story takes us back to a time when J.R. Smith was entangled with a woman who happened to be simultaneously dating other men in the town. However, the crux of the issue revolves around one particular individual who considered himself the woman's primary partner. It's here that we begin to glimpse the inception of what would become a distressing and invasive ordeal. The man in question, harboring a sense of entitlement and ownership over the woman, began to exhibit a pattern of unsettling behavior characterized by relentless stalking. This alarming conduct was not limited to the woman alone, it encompassed J.R. Smith as well. The stalker, driven by what can only be described as an unhealthy obsession, embarked on a course of action that can only be described as deeply disturbing. One facet of this behavior was the stalker's penchant for pettiness. He would engage in acts that, while seemingly trivial, carried with them an airy aura of malice. Sending the woman items that she had previously mentioned to JR, for instance, served as a chilling reminder of the unwarranted intrusion into their lives. It was as if the stalker sought to underscore his presence in their world in the most unsettling and invasive manner possible. Another disconcerting aspect of this narrative is the stalker's apparent fixation on J.R. Smith's movements and whereabouts. This fixation extended to the point of actively attempting to track JR and follow him. The idea that an individual would go to such lengths to monitor another person's actions is profoundly disturbing and raises numerous questions about the stalker's mental state and motivations. Throughout his retelling of this unnerving episode, J.R. Smith grapples with the disconcerting nature of the entire experience. He wonders aloud about the factors that could drive someone to become so intensely fixated on another person's life. The geographical coincidence that the stalker hailed from New Jersey, a location of significance in JR's life, adds another layer of complexity to the story. In a stunning turn of events, Joe Budden, during an interview, found himself thrust into the spotlight and caught off guard by a Twitter tag that seemed to be connected to a story of disturbing significance. As the details unfolded, Joe couldn't help but express his surprise at the sudden attention and realization that he was being implicated in a deeply concerning matter related to J.R. Smith's account of being stalked. The shock on Joe's face was palpable as he grappled with the gravity of the situation. It became evident that the allegations and accusations swirling around him were indeed true. Joe Budden, known for his candidness and unfiltered approach, took a moment to compose himself before delving into a confession that would send shockwaves through the interview. In a moment of striking candor, Joe openly admitted to engaging in stalking behavior, leaving no room for ambiguity or evasion. He owned up to his actions, stating that he had actively pursued the physical location of someone with a singular objective in mind, to make them see her. This revelation was nothing short of astonishing, as it laid bare the extent of his involvement in a deeply unsettling ordeal. It's crucial to highlight that Joe Budden was quick to dismiss any insinuations of violence associated with his actions. He was adamant about clarifying that his intent was not to inflict harm upon anyone but rather to locate the person involved. In his own words, Joe wanted to make them see her, a phrase that alluded to a desire to bring the individual face to face with the reality of their actions. In addressing the allegations head-on, Joe Budden displayed a remarkable level of transparency and acceptance of responsibility. He didn't shy away from the uncomfortable truths that had come to light and chose instead to confront them with unwavering honesty. This willingness to acknowledge his involvement in stalking behavior was a stark departure from any potential denials or deflections. As the interview progressed, Joe seemed to grapple with the weight of his actions and the impact they might have had on others. His candid confession was a testament to the complexities of human behavior and the willingness to confront one's own missteps. It underscored the importance of accountability and the recognition that actions have consequences. In a world where individuals often resort to denial or evasion when confronted with uncomfortable truths, Joe Budden's response stood out as a stark example of owning one's actions. He acknowledged the veracity of the allegations and chose to address them directly, leaving no room for ambiguity. It was a moment of profound vulnerability, as he laid bare the details of his involvement in stalking behavior, further emphasizing the importance of self-reflection and accountability. J.R. Smith's unsettling encounter with this stalker is a chilling reminder of the lengths to which some individuals may go when gripped by obsession and possessiveness. It serves as a stark illustration of the importance of recognizing and addressing unhealthy behaviors that can escalate into something far more sinister. The story raises profound questions about the boundaries of personal privacy and the impact of unwanted intrusion into one's life. As J.R. Smith shares his troubling experience, it is a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance and the need to address stalking and obsession in all its forms. In conclusion, Joe Budden's response to the allegations made against him during the interview was characterized by a remarkable degree of transparency and honesty. He did not attempt to evade or deny the accusations but instead admitted to engaging in stalking behavior with the intention of making someone see her. While he categorically denied any inclination toward violence, his willingness to confront the allegations head-on demonstrated a commitment to accountability and self-reflection. This candid admission served as a stark reminder of the complexities of human behavior and the significance of acknowledging one's actions and their consequences.